This episode, what you can find during a major remodel. Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show, home improvement and maintenance tips from the pros. Thanks for listening to another edition of the Handyman Pros Radio Show, where our goal is to help save you time, money, and aggravation on your home maintenance and repair. This episode's entitled, What You Can Find During a Major Remodel. And to help me explain is my cheerful co-host and old buddy, Johnny. What has been going on this week, buddy? What's been happening?
Well,
we love these stories, by the way. We love these stories.
Yeah, do we? Let's see what's been going on this week. Door repair.
It's been raining.
It's
like
been
nonstop.
raining and door repair. And, so it's not my door. It was my neighbor's door. And, so everybody out there, take our advice and do your doors when it's warm. Because I will tell you, it probably cost him about $500 in heating bills by the time I got done with this job. So exterior door.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's been raining. Man, my yard is like a swamp right now.
Oh,
so
yours and mine both.
It's a mess. But I'll take that over the 20-degree weather, 5-degree weather we had.
This is a true statement.
Yes. Plumbing.
So
okay, Larry.
All right. Well, Johnny, this week you were rumbling around in the news. You were following some of the trade magazines, I'm assuming, or something. Anyway, you came on some things, and we thought we'd have a discussion about what you find or what you can find during a major remodel. So I know when I do on my rental properties, do a fair amount of, major remodels. And besides the couple of skeletons and a mummified rat and some, newspapers from 1927 and stuff like that.
And a lucky strike pack. And
a lucky strike pack under some concrete, which, that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the trash. Folks, when you do a major remodel, you're going to find trash in those crawl spaces and walls. And some of it, like I always tell this one story, I was doing one of these properties and I open up under the stairs. It was 2 5-gallon buckets of vacuum material came out from underneath a stair. Like it was a good quarter of an inch thick between drywall dust, drywall paper, mud, nails.
Nobody wants to pick that stuff up, Larry. They just want to sweep it under the proverbial rug. If they
literally sweep it into the crawl space, or not crawl space, but into the closed-in space and call it good.
I still find bottle caps and all kinds of stuff. And
there were Gatorade bottles
and magic marker
bottles in
paintings
there.
up in my attic next to the furnace. Somebody was bored up there and made drawings. I'll have to take a picture of that drawing sometime and put it on this podcast.
But you found some very interesting stories.
I did
out there in the news.
Yeah, you never know. So this one I see. This came back in the news lately, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. Other than I think they did a little bit more exploring in this, but this really happened in 1963. But a guy in Turkey, he was taking a sledgehammer to his the wall in his cellar.
Yeah.
I guess he was going to do something. I don't know why he'd do this, but I suppose he was going to expand somehow. And he found a tunnel attached to his house. And it turns out it was I got the article here. It turns out that he had unwittingly located the entrance to a huge underground city called Derinkiu. And this thing was massive. I mean, it was filled with catacombs. There were chapels, schools, and even stables down there. It was 18 stories deep.
Wow.
And capable of housing 20,000 people.
Isn't that amazing?
And so they're still and I'll post a picture, but there's some pictures here, and I had to sound out the Derinkiu there. But
your Arabic's a little rusty there, John? Come on.
Yeah, but Yeah, it was carved into volcanic rock and became a sort of man-made ant colony. And when you look at it, it does kind of look like what you would think of an ant colony. And it was crafted, they think, between the 7th and 8th century BC.
Wow. So
You
I
know,
wonder, it probably came back up in the news because they probably found some archaeological, significance to it again. Yeah.
Exactly. And what they were is they didn't explore the whole thing. They can't get through the whole thing.
Right.
So I
Right.
think they were just started to go back in there and look. They had wells, water channels. I mean, all kinds of stuff going on in here.
Like truly
Um,
a city then, set up to actually
oh
people
yeah,
for
yeah.
people to actually
Well,
live
yeah,
there.
like it said, they had chapels and schools and stables.
Stables. Can you imagine an underground
I,
stable?
I
Can you imagine the
ex-
smell? Oh my God. Oh,
Whoa.
God.
Maybe that's why maybe the guy's like, hey, what's that smell in my basement?
Yeah, right.
He knocks down a wall. That's like
I
20.
it'll be interesting if the archaeologists eventually figure out exactly why that was built. It sort of sounds like that's a response to some kind of
Exactly.
persecution or warfare or something like that. There's a reason why that was built underground.
Well, now that you say that, Larry, it says the early Christians lived there, fleeing persecutions from the Romans and Muslims.
Yep, yep. That
Um,
doesn't surprise me.
so man, that must have been quite a feat to build something like that. I guess back then you didn't have anything else on. You weren't looking at an iPhone,
No,
so you weren't surfing the internet or anything like that. So I mean, what the hell? What do you guys want to do today? Yeah, let's dig a big, huge, massive ant colony.
let's
How big? 15, 20,000 people, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
all
Why
right.
not? Right? Why not?
Sounds like a good use of time.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's something to do.
So yeah, you never know. And we've done shows before. Remember that guy found all the whiskey from the bootlegger
Oh
and
yeah,
all that stuff.
I was gonna ask Johnny, did you
I
ever
mean,
find anything when you were in Chicago? Because in Chicago there were all kinds of old hidden rooms that were.
no, I never did. Maybe an old septic tank or something.
Oh, that's fun.
I'd run across it.
That sounds like my
But
kind of
yeah,
find.
excavating the yard or anything like that. But
Well, so a lot of this stuff when we were just talking about it a little bit, but there's some historical significance to some of this stuff. So here in the South and the Upper Midwest, or not Upper Mid, but in the middle Atlantic states, every once in a while people find old rooms from the Underground Railroad where there's old
yeah,
rooms and or caves. They're usually they're hidden. And then in some of the bigger places in like New York and some of the bigger cities, there are all these hidden rooms that were all speakeasies during the 20s.
yeah.
And they were pretty amazingly concealed. Like it's really, some of the engineering was pretty freaking
No,
cool. Big time.
absolutely, absolutely. What hey, when you want to get something done, you can be pretty
You can be
creative.
pretty creative. And then, of course,
I need a drink.
during Prohibition,
So
there was a lot of profit
yeah, right. I
involved
need a
too.
drink, and let's get creative.
Yeah. So kind of interesting, but lots of different ways for these different rooms to be hidden. And then of course during if you're in Europe, during the Nazi occupation, if you were trying to hide Jews, there were hidden rooms as well there. So there's a lot of reasons why there's hidden rooms, and sometimes you just find this stuff, inadvertently. And then even like John, you and I were looking at a job yesterday, and there's this little alcove, and we're like, well, we could just cover that up, and just because. I mean, it's
Well,
not really a
and
room,
that's
but
it,
it'd be a closet size. So
exactly, and that leads me to the next article I ran across from this comes from the UK, and this guy, it says, a British man has made a bizarre discovery inside the walls of the home he just purchased, and he's hoping that it was an elaborate prank
yes, sounds like it. Yeah.
left by the previous owner. So the guy gets he gets the keys to the new house, according to this article, and he made a disturbing discovery after breaking down some plaster wall that had been put up to cover the void under the stairs to the second level. So when he busted through that, there was what's described here as a creepy doll sitting in a rocking chair with a note. and he knocked after he knocked a hole in the wall, this rag doll was sitting in a miniature chair alongside a note which read, "Dear reader, new homeowner, thank you for freeing me. My name is Emily. My original owners lived in this house in 1961. I didn't like them, so they had to go. All they did was sing and be merry. It was sickening. Stabbing was my choice of death for them, so I hope you have knives."
Nice.
And then it closes with, "Hope you sleep well." so
Chucky lives. Don't you
yeah,
kid yourself. Chucky lives, right? Yeah.
So so it was a prank, but a good one.
Do you know?
I sure
do you
gave
know
him-
it was a prank?
Yeah.
Did anybody search
Yeah,
the history of
they
the
put it together. Yeah, they put it together. It wasn't from 1961, but that's so anybody's doing a remodel. Now you got some good prank stuff.
Guess what's running through my mind right now? I'm closing up
I'm
the
sure
walls at one of my houses. I'm thinking about this right now. I'm like, what can we do?
Exactly, and I'm sure that this little prank gave that guy some pause, though.
Oh my God! Yes. Oh my God! Really? Like, that's scary. I
love practical jokes. I love practical jokes like that. That's good.
Yeah, because it's like a ticking time bomb, right?
Yeah.
I will say I have signed the inside of some work, like this home remodeled in 2010 or 2012.
Yeah.
I've signed it, 2012 by me,
Yeah.
and just that way it's to give somebody, if they ever go to remodel it again, they just kind of have a time frame basis for when the work was done. Not that it really matters, but it's just kind of one of those little things. All it takes is a pencil and you do it. And and it's just kind of a thing that you write it on studs.
Or chase the previous contractor down.
Well, or chase the previous contractor. All right.
Why'd you use that?
So, because I'm the homeowner. So guess what? Well, sorry, I was the former homeowner. It's too bad. Goodbye. Have a nice day. But anyway, yeah, it's like I think we talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it on the show. I know we talked on it personally, but they were redoing a P-39 Airacobra, and they got up inside it as they were doing the renovation on the P-39 Airacobra. And one of the women that actually worked on the plane signed the inside. She made a comment, hope our work helps you, defeat the Germans, kind of thing. And she wrote that up inside, and they actually tracked her down. This is back, I think, in 2017, and she was like 90 something years old.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's still alive.
She was still alive, but not. She's now actually passed away. But they tracked it down, and it was just kind of interesting how she was just working on the production line, and she she basically sent a note off to one of the boys flying the plane. That never really saw it because it was up underneath. I can't remember. It was up like in the sidewall that was actually covered. But anyway, it's kind of interesting. Just kind of interesting about these notes you can leave for future generation. It's kind of like time.
You can't believe what we used to do inside those 727s and put stuff in there. Anyways, that was my in the news, Larry.
Well, those are fascinating stories. I mean, I've never found anything quite that interesting, but I hope actually not to. Let's just and think about it, Johnny. If you're in a really old building, when you've been to Europe and stuff. I never forget when I went to England a million years ago. They said, "Oh, we're in the new part of town. It's 600 years old."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, what's in there after 600 years?
Right.
Look, here's a turkey leg from 600 years ago, right?
Oh, oof. Yeah. You guys renovate this place yet? Come on.
Yeah. So
be the ugly American.
Yeah.
At the Coliseum. Are you guys going to clean this up or what?
Hey, you mind cleaning this up? Yeah, get this shit off the wall.
Yeah, put some condos in here.
Hey. Reminds me of a scene from Caddyshack. Anyway, besides that, Johnny, let me ask you a question. Do you think that those people, when they land on the spaceship, leave you notes, like hoping that you're going to find this in 1,000 years? I'm just saying,
No, Larry, well, maybe they'll sign a probe or something. I don't know.
Had to go there, didn't you?
Had to go there. All
right, folks. If you enjoy the Handyman Pros radio show, please tell your friends and neighbors. Send them the link. We really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you want subject matter done, we've gotten some emails. We've actually answered some emails for some people that had some issues at their homes. So use this as a resource, folks, because we are out there and we do work pretty much every day. lately. Yikes. But send us an email, questions at handymanprosradioshow.com. We're online out there. We've got a Facebook page. It's at Handyman Pros. We've got a website, handymanprosradioshow.com. You can subscribe to our newsletter, so forth and so on. But we appreciate it. We'll see you next week on the Handyman Pros Radio Show.